I know I'm going to start talking and the music's going to...
Get connected with Take Two Radio on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio. For email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit Take2Radio.com.
Welcome to Take Two Radio. This is Pam, and I'm the normal host, but it's Friday, so that means Mary is hosting the show. And she has with her today her guest, Paranormal Investigator Phillip Scarff. And he's, Paranormal Investigator of Knox County, Illinois, my home state. How's that, Mary?
Yeah, I know. That's pretty cool, huh?
Definitely. I'm going to listen as much as I can, and I'll be back in a little bit. But I do believe we have our guest on the phone, so I'm going to go ahead and connect him. Phillip, are you with us?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Hi, welcome.
Oh. Greetings and salutations.
How are you doing tonight?
Well, actually, at the moment, I'm sitting in a plastic kiddie pool full of water and ice cubes, pretending it's a jacuzzi because I'm making my own bubbles.
Okay.
No, truth be told, and I hope they don't see me because I'm sitting out on my back deck, and my neighbors just came out. I probably ought to go put some pants on. I'm sitting here in my briefs, having cold Killians, and talking with you.
Now, if you lived where I lived, you could sit out in your briefs and nobody would even notice.
Yeah, well, that's true. Well, my wife is scheduled for retirement in 6 years, and we've discussed real seriously about moving to Ireland. But God love her, our granddaughter blessed us with a wonderful little grandson, so we're not going to go anywhere for a while unless we can move the whole family.
Oh, that little baby, I just want to hug him. He is so adorable.
He's only 20 months old, but he's already started his terrible twos.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can be a handful, but the fact of the matter is, my future son-in-law, my daughter's fiance, family is Irish. We're Irish, and he is the future chieftain of our two clans. He has combined or united our clans, so he'll be loved and watched over his entire life.
Well, that's great. Okay, so how about that we get on the subject of you? Now, I know that you have been trying to get me to come out for 2 years now. I will add, to your TourCon. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? And I know that you're not in charge of it anymore, but, give us a lowdown on it.
Well, I'm the founder and was director of the Paranormal Unity Summit. I directed it the first 3 years. I thought it was time for some fresh blood, some new ideas, so I offered the directorship to a good friend of mine, David Lowery. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's also known as a paranormal highwayman. He's been in business 30-plus years. And so I handed it over to him, and hopefully he'll take the ball and run with it. But the event, what it's about the paranormal investigators. It's a chance to come together and share information and ideas, because I am a firm believer that paranormal unity will take us all to the next level by working together, getting on the same page, have the same frame of mind, moving in the same direction.
I agree with you, but there's so many out there that don't want to work together. They just want to go off on their own and create their own fantasies.
Well, yeah, it's like proprietarism. Used to, Microsoft wouldn't allow Norton to work on their computers because there was a bickering between Steve Jobs and whoever was in charge of Norton at that time. But they finally resolved it, and you can, download Norton as an antivirus on Microsoft products and stuff. But yeah, I run into people. They'll put something out there that I'm interested in, and I'll look at it and I'll contact them. And I don't do anything publicly. I'm not into the public people knowing what we're talking about type of thing. I'll come through the back door, through messaging or whatever, and say, hey, that was an excellent photograph. Can you give me the circumstances surrounding that? I'd like to try it myself. Oh, no, we don't discuss our procedures and how we go about doing things. Excuse me, what is a matter of national security? I mean, what's the deal here? I'm just asking a simple question. So, yeah, you run into it, but more and more people are getting on board with Paranormal Unity, and we're getting more of the celebrity types on board, like the Booths and people such as that, John Tenney, and, people like that are starting to get on board with the movement. And it's been around a while. It's been in England or Great Britain, Europe, New Zealand, Australia, even up in Canada for a number of years. Michael Coolin, if he's listening, he's going to kill me because I can't pronounce his last name. He's heads up North London Paranormal Society. He's the one that actually turned me on to Paranormal Unity, what it was about. And, the problem here in America is the fact of our egos. We as Americans, and that's why a lot of people around the world don't like us, because we come in like gangbusters because we have these big egos. And we need to get over that. We need to, we need to be heading in the same direction. If we're going to find answers to our questions, we need to be working together, not against each other. This isn't a competition. There's no prizes at the end of it. So, jump on board. Give us what you got. I'm always willing to share anything knowledge-wise, data-wise with anyone if it helps educate you.
Exactly, and that's how I feel with me, too, because I do, as you know, the psychic medium, and I don't mind another medium being even in the room with me and doing a gallery with me, as long as they are a true medium and not one out there just faking it or doing cold reads or anything like that.
Yeah, well, see, when we first became associated, we've been doing this 16 years. And probably 10 years ago was the first contact we had with, and I don't mean this any disrespect to you, so-called mediums. And it was coin toss. It was coin toss. They say, well, this is this and this is that. You'd flip a coin, and it was 50-50 chance that it was right. Well, then I met some people that were even a little better and a little better and a little better, and we moved up the ladder to people such as yourself. You've worked with me from time to time on a remote aspect. Lee Triana Brown has worked with me. Cassidy Ray has worked with me. And there's been several others that have worked with me through a remote contact as far as doing readings for me before I go into certain locations. And I begin to distinguish who has it and who doesn't. So I can kind of pick up on it now just by the way the person carries it.
Right. And, there's a lot of good ones out there, and again, there's a lot that teeter. But it's really important to know who you're working with and for, whether it's a psychic medium or an investigator. I know I've been on a couple investigations, and they're interesting. They really are. And I had one in Oklahoma where I was doing a hypnosis on a lady, and I had walked out of the room, and my daughter called me into another room. They had, and I can never remember the name of the box they had.
The spirit box, like the SB7?
Yeah, something like that. And they had called it something else, but it was a spirit box, and they were calling my name. So I went in there, and I go, okay, you want me? What do you want? Who are you? And they gave me a name, and I had no clue who it was, and that's all they said. So later on, I was talking to the lady who owned the home we were in, and she told me that was her grandmother's name. Her grandmother had passed over, and I'm like, well, I guess she's just saying hi to you, and it's really interesting when you go in and you do an investigation.
Yeah. Well, see, and I have absolutely no abilities. I'm a woodsman, a hunter. Any of you people out there take offense to that, I only hunt for food. No, I did not shoot Cecil. But I have abilities in that I know when I'm being watched, and I know when I'm not alone in a room because my ears start to ring real loud. It's like the barometric pressure changes within the room, and my ears start to ring. That's the only abilities I have. But I've worked with some quality people such as yourself, and I find it to be an asset in that I worked with one lady out of Texas for the last several years. We don't work together anymore in that she's trying to lose her abilities. She doesn't want them, never has, and she's trying to get away from it. But I would just simply send her a picture of the location that we were going to investigate, and that was it. No information at all. You tell me. I'm not feeding you anything. You tell me. And you would not believe how accurate this lady was. Here's a classic example. We're doing an investigation, which was a referral investigation from another group here in Illinois, down in Canton, Illinois. And real strange. This dude was strange. Oh, my God, was he strange. But anyway, we're down there. I was working with a couple of local, one was a medium and one was a channeler. Sent them up to see what they picked up on. They came downstairs. We talked a few minutes, and then everybody kind of like took a cigarette break or whatever. And I went upstairs and started setting up a camera. Well, I put the camera to the tripod, which was in its smallest position, lowest position. I was getting ready to raise it. And I heard something behind me, and there was only like a foot between me and the wall behind me, but I distinctly heard something move behind me. And as I stood up to say, I heard you, my phone went off, and it was this lady in Texas. She said, look behind you. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I actually showed it to whatever spirit was standing there. I said, see, look, you can't hide from me. I got people watching you. So, yeah, I mean, she was just phenomenal with the things that she fed us over the years. And I truly miss working with her, but I wish her all the best in trying to get away from this because it's very, very troubling to her. I've worked with her as far as helping try to explain it. And I'm just regurgitating data that I've digested. I don't have the ability, so I can't give her firsthand knowledge on it. So I tried to help her, how to build a safe area, how to do this, how to do that. I hooked her up. I think I hooked her up with both Cassidy and Litriana to help her understand her abilities. But she's trying her best to get them to go away. She's a very spiritual woman. She prays constantly that they'll go away, and if she happens to be listening tonight. But you know yourself, once you have it, unless you have a near-death experience to remove it, it's not going to go away totally. It's not. It's something you have, and it's something you have to learn to deal with.
And that's really, really true. And sometimes it's really hard. Like, I'll get a death feeling. Oh, my God, I hate that. Because somebody near you is going to die. And the first time I ever had that was when I was 14, when my dad died. And I just totally freaked out.
That had a scary experience at 14.
Yeah. It was, and I'm sure I had, like one of our neighbors died, and I had kind of shaky before that. But 14, when it really, really hit me, and the death feeling, that was the worst. And I get them. I get them whenever somebody I know is close to death, and it's just like, I hate it. And she's not going to be able to get rid of them. Now, I have tried to take other jobs. I have worked as a college professor. I've worked as a teacher. And for some reason or another, I lose my job. And it has nothing to do with my work, because the last job was a college professor. And I had 255 students protest because they were letting me go because they were changing the way that they were operating. And a lady called me up and said, "Gee, you have do you have a website? And I'm like, no. She said, get one. And back up again I went. So I finally gave up on the regular jobs and just doing this work now, because this is what I know that I'm supposed to be doing. And that's like her. She's supposed to be doing this for her being as accurate she is. And I know it probably scares the daylights out of her, but I don't see her getting away from it either.
Yeah. Well, that was about the time that we came in contact with you, because remember you were talking about that, you were wanting to get away from the real world type job situation and strike out on your own. And not to butter my bread, but I'm always encouraging people that have a vision, have a dream, and I think I did with you too, that, go for it. I mean, put it this way, if you don't, someplace down the road, you're going to go, God, I wish I'd tried that. That's me. I'm one of the original thrill seekers. God, I can't tell you bones I broke, I've been blown up. This is all kinds of crazy stuff that happens to me. But I get up in the morning and I have the pain in this arm or a pain in this leg, and I go, oh, man, that hurts. And then I think back to how I got it. It's like, boy, that was good. That was a good time. We had fun that day, but I paid for it. But I don't look back and say, God, I wish I tried that.
Right.
And I try to preach that to people. Even if you're going to fail, don't go into it with that attitude. But even if you do fail, at least you gave it your best shot. And I try to instill that in people that we come in contact with paranormal investigating. We're always looking to educate people the best we can. I don't know all the answers. Hell, I don't even know all the questions. And the more I learn about this field, the less I know. That's just how it is. The only absolute in paranormal investigating is there is no absolutes. You go out there and you wing it the best you can. I run in teams that they get this structured schedule on how they're going to go about their investigations. And I tell them in a nice manner, that's cool. You need to have some type of a game plan in mind. But when you step through the front door of your client's house, throw it in the trash. You have absolutely no control over what's going to transpire during the course of that investigation. You may influence it through your actions and words, but you have no control over it. You've got to wing it. You've got to ad-lib. You got to think on your feet. And common sense seems to be in such short supply nowadays. What's up with that?
Well, this woman called me from Mississippi and asked me to come down. And it was like a 2.5-hour drive. She said, we're concerned because in the baby's room, we have a rocker that keeps moving by the crib. And I said, there's a spirit in there that wants the crib, the chair there. So I went down there and I felt a coldness right outside the baby's room, and the mother's room was next to it. And then I turned around and I said, the woman also wants you to put that Tinkerbell lamp back here on the table. And I pointed, and she's like, oh, my God. She said, we just put that up yesterday. And I said, well, she's telling me.
I hate to interrupt you. Don't tell me, but it was Grandma, was it not?
No, it wasn't Grandma. It was just a lady that had an attachment to the baby.
Oh, there you go. And
but
those are good.
I do want to tell you something. I don't know. I don't know how old you are.
The comet's not okay. The comet that is going to hit my house and take me out, it's not going to get my wife, is it?
I do not know your age after all this time, but I will tell you that you have more abilities than you're aware of.
I've been told that by the Cherokee Nations. The Cherokee Nation, well, a certain clan, I think it's the Bear Creek or the Bear River clan of the Cherokee Nations, watches over me 24/7. They say I'm somebody important. Put it this way, everything is faith. Religion is faith. Paranormal investigating is faith. Faith plays a large part of our everyday lives. They say I'm somebody important. The lifetime I'm living now, which I wish it was a little bit better, thank you, I'm taking a break. I was flat told by a spiritual leader of this particular branch of the Cherokee Nations that I am the oldest spirit that they've ever encountered. Once again, you got to take that with a grain of salt and on faith. Do I buy into it 100%? No, I don't. And I mean, no, if the people involved are listening in tonight, I mean no disrespect to them. But y'all fed me a pretty big pill, and it's kind of hard to swallow. So I have what's known as a dog soldier. Are you familiar with that term?
No. Yes and no.
Yeah, well, dog soldiers were, you see, I'm part Cherokee, and dog soldiers were the ones that defended the camps. They would actually stake themselves to the ground. So even if they got scared, they couldn't run away. They had to stand and fight to protect the tribe or the village. And I have a dog soldier that's with me 24/7. People such as yourself that try to take a look at me, to read me or whatever, have told me they've encountered him, and he's not very nice. He doesn't. You don't see him until you try to read me, and then he makes his presence known. Here recently, I was put under what was known as a protection spell they call the shield. I had a
read that.
Remember, we had that talk, remember? And
yep.
I was telling you, because I had that hoodoo mama trying to do some magic on me. And see, that's something I truly buy into. And once again, it's faith. But I come from the South. I've seen that sort of stuff all my life when down there. And it gets serious. It really does.
Right.
These people do have some magical powers through the rituals they do. And so I was put under this particular protection called the shield. But in doing so, no one could see me at all, even you. If you tried to look at me, I wasn't even there. But also, the spirits couldn't see me. So I contacted them and told them, you need to lift this because, I've got a job to do. And I have to be able to communicate with the spirits because supposedly they couldn't hear me, they couldn't see me. Once again, it's a matter of faith. It's something that you have to take at face value. And the person that did this for me, which was Letriana Brown, most trust in her. She has absolutely no reason to deceive me, such as yourself, and you're going to speak the truth with me, which you always have. So, I don't know. These are things, and you just kind of verified it. Supposedly, I have a greater purpose in life. I've been told I'm a healer. About the only thing, if so, why can't I heal myself? I get banged up all the time. But
right, and there's ways that you can, and like we've also talked about me hypnotizing you. Remember?
Yeah, but you probably don't want to do that because you really don't want to get into my brain. I'm serious. I was raised, or I grew up on Monty Python and Benny Hill and people like that. I'm pretty darn warped when you get right down to it.
Right. Well, I'm still going to get in that brain of yours and see what we can find out. This year, hopefully, we can connect because this year was my daughter's graduation, and last year I had another commitment. But I'm hoping next year we will be able to.
Well, and I'm going to put in a good word with David and tell him that you're on the definitely to call list. Because, you just haven't been able to get down here due to family circumstances. And, I mean, what have we been talking, going on 3 years now? And yet,
somewhere in that area.
Yeah, actually yet to meet face-to-face. But, and there's a lot of people out there that I'm good friends with. We talk about our kids and yada, 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 and I've never met face-to-face. It's been over the phone or maybe Facebook or emails and stuff. Because I network extensively. I'm constantly, which falls right back into the paranormal unity. It's as far as that goes, I'm going to an event next weekend called ChillCon down in Mattoon, Illinois, put on by a paranormal group down there that are friends of ours, and that's shown us love and support the last 3 years with our supports or our events. So it's only fair that I go back. Plus, I want to. And I've never met Christopher Booth. And he and I,
He is a good guy.
Yeah. Well, he and I have many common friends, and several of them have told me over the past couple of years, you two need to meet. So we're actually going to get to meet face to face next Saturday, and hopefully he's English, I'm Irish. We'll get along then. If not, well, there'll be a war. So
Chris is
it's things like that. I talked to Johnny Hauser for a long time, and then finally met him up at Villisca. And we chat from time to time. And there's a lot of people like that out there that I chat with and have become friends with.
Right. Well, Chris is not sure. You'll like him. You'll get along with him.
Well, I listened. He did a show Wednesday night with some friends of mine, Jay and Teresa Lynch, and I listened to him. It was one of the first times I've ever heard his voice. And then Rachel was piping in. They had her in there too, adding comments as she could and stuff. And I got to talking to her because I have found the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. A way to a man's mind is through his woman. So see, I've struck up a friendship with not only Rachel online, but also Ivana, Phillip's wife.
Right.
I donated some really nice gemstones to the auction that they had for her when she was sick. Unfortunately, I think Rocky, are you familiar with Living Dead Paranormal?
Yeah.
Mormons? Okay, I think Rocky may have put too high a reserve. They didn't sell, thus they went to Ivana. Anything that didn't sell, they actually got. And I was in contact with her talking about the stones and tried to get her to take them to Rachel and let Rachel mount them in something because they were pretty nice. They really were. But we have a pretty extensive collection of gemstones, and I don't mind donating them to people that, for good causes. We've got more than we need type deal. And I'm going to take Rachel some down there next weekend so she can incorporate them into the jury line that she's now doing. And see, once again, that endears me closer to the woman, which gets me in the back door to the man. No, I don't look at it like that. I'm just playing. But
I know you are. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm going at the end of the month to one called Roads to the Paranormal.
Paranormal. I've got so many people in my ear. You need to be here. You need to be here. The thing is, we don't really do venue-type events anymore. We got into that aspect for a couple of years where we were going to all these different events, and then, we went to the Ohio State Penitentiary. We did this place. We did that place. And we were getting away from our true purpose in life. Got us into this business, and that's helping people help themselves. When we go into an investigation, we're not there to prove something paranormal is occurring. We're there to disprove it. And I don't like Grant Wilson's use of debunk. I just do not like that word. But we come in and try to find logical explanations for what's going on. Anything that we cannot come up with a plausible, viable explanation for falls in the realm of unknown. We don't necessarily deem it paranormal, but we present it to our client. But our main thing is to empower them to take control of the situation. We're not there to alleviate anything. We're there to investigate and document. And we thoroughly enjoy that. And like I said, we got away from it for a couple of years, and we went on sabbatical last year after our event, which is every May. We just sat down and we needed to reevaluate where we were going. What were our goals? What were our purposes? What have we accomplished? And we just came to the conclusion that we're just not going to go out and do all these things we were. We need to get back to the grassroots that got us into this field. And that's where we're at now. Roads to the Paranormal, you never know. I may show up. Like I said, I've got so many friends in my ear talking about,
I will
need to be here.
I will definitely be there because I'm also doing a gallery too. So if you go, make sure you come find me.
Oh, that goes without saying. I'm gonna come up behind you, snatch you up off the ground, and whisk you away to Never Never Land. And your husband will put a bounty on my head. And so.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a husband, but okay. All right. Well, thanks a lot for being on the show. I won't hold you up anymore because I told you a half an hour. But I will definitely see you on Facebook land.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, if you want, I can stay here all night. I don't know how much time you got. Like I said, I'm sitting out here on I would call it the veranda, but we actually have a roof over it, so it can't be classified as a veranda. Trying to enjoy the evening after 3 days of cutting down trees. And I'm so sick in that we were cutting down walnuts and cutting it into firewood. Are you kidding me? Do you know how expensive that wood is? But,
we have to cut down too, so, yep.
Oh, my God.
But I got to let you go. I got to let you go because we do have people there.
Mm-hmm. All right.
They're online waiting for readings.
Yeah. Oh, before you go, how's your mom?
My mom's doing great, thanks. She's doing all right now.
All right, good deal, good deal. Anyway, I'll be talking to you. You know that. We always do.
Yes, sir. All right, thanks again for coming, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, you have a great weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Okay, I want to say something before Pam puts the readers, looking for readers. Yeah, they're looking for reading on. I do have a new website up, and it's called mary-barrett, BARRETT.org. And I have an Etsy store, ETSY.com, called Spiritual Needs. So go take a look at both of them. They're pretty neat. Pam, are we back here?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I do want to tell you something. I should have said it when Phillip was on the line here, but I was born in Oak Park, Illinois also. So there were 3 Illinoisers here.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Well, Oak Park is close to me, but Knox County, Illinois, I don't even know where that is. I'm imagining with his area code, it's down south somewhere.
Yeah, he is down south. He's not too far from Missouri or Tennessee border in that area.
Oh,
but yeah, he's definitely down at the end.
Yeah, and you could tell by his accent too. People wouldn't believe that we have southern accents in Illinois, but if they go down south, oh yeah, they're there.
Yeah, I love southern accents. Some have it really harsh, like, really, really deep. And some barely have it, but I like the deep ones.
Yeah, definitely. Well, our first caller's name is Trish. I'm going to go ahead and bring her on if you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Trish, you're live on the air with Mary.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Trish. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Okay, where are you calling us from?
Tonight I'm calling you from Jersey.
I'm from Jersey. All right. I have family up there. So,
Really?
what kid? Sussex.
Okay. That's like the real I guess it's like the country part of Jersey. It's
that's up by Port Jervis. And then I have another one out. Oh, I forgot where. I want to say Wayne, but that's not it. But up in that area.
That is, that's a city. It's pretty close to me, too, Wayne.
Yeah, my uncle and cousins and all used to live out there, but they moved. There's somewhere I can't even think right now, but somewhere up by Sussex. Anyway, what can I do for you today?
Just trying to see, what do you see for my My love life, it's been up and down, and it's I'm really ready to settle down and wanting to know if that person is coming soon.
Okay, just give me your first name and your age.
Trish, 26, but everyone calls me T.
Okay, I'm getting that there is. Are you in school or affiliated with a school?
No, actually, I just finished school about a year ago.
Okay, because I feel like you're going to go back to school.
Oh, wow. You know, a lot of people say that. I just don't know for what.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to go back to school, and I feel like you have 2 more years before you meet the one that you're going to settle down with. But I do want to caution you, there's going to be somebody that's going to come in between, and you need to be very cautious because this guy is not the one that you're going to be, married. He's not going to be here for the long run. So be very careful how you choose, because if you're not careful, you're going to make a mistake. And by that, I mean, you're liable to get married and divorced within a couple months. And the guy that you are going to be marrying, he has it all together, and he is mature. This one that I see coming in between, he throws off personas where he tries to act like Mr. Big, and he's got the money and all this other stuff, and you got to try to go past him because he is a honey catcher, which comes from him, which means that he really likes the women, and he's a BSer. So be careful with this guy. The
and
one
I
that
haven't met him yet, right? And you said I haven't met him, right?
No, you have not met him yet. This one is from one of the books. And the one you're going to marry, you have not met yet either.
Okay. So these are new guys.
Yeah, and the guy that you're going to be with, I'm getting some kind of medical, like a hospital, behind the both of you. So I'm not sure. One of you are going to be working in the hospital. I can't tell you which one. But I do feel that it's dragging me towards him. But just be careful.
Okay.
Be careful.
Do you know what I need to look out for the one in the middle?
When he starts acting like a big BSer, that's when you got to watch out, because he's going to try to sweep you off your feet and tell you the moon is made of cream cheese. Just, be very careful.
Okay. And is he coming soon, or?
I feel it's going to be like within the next 6 months.
Okay, so I shouldn't talk to him?
I would be very careful. I can't tell you not to talk to him, but I can tell you to be very careful.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right, well, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's so hard because you try to watch out, but then yet still come under the radar.
Oh, I know. We've all been through those ones we thought was the one, and then you find out later, oh, they are not.
Yes.
And so many reasons. And the thing is, a lot of times later on when you figure out they are not that person, you're like, how did I not see this when I first met them? Why didn't I get those signs? But when you feel like you're in love, you don't really see past that. So I can understand being careful.
You want to know this girl that I knew, her name was Kathy, and she lived with this guy for like 5 years. They married and got divorced a month later.
Oh, my gosh.
That's ridiculous. That's not even trying.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Well, what are you going to do? You live and you learn.
Yeah, cool.
We do have another caller, and her name is Lenice. And Lenice,
Hi.
You're live on the air with Mary.
Hello,
Hi,
ladies.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you all?
Oh, we're doing pretty good. Now, Pam, she hasn't had enough caffeine yet, so. But, where are you calling? Yeah, you, Pam. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, my goodness. You're an hour and a half to 2 hours from me.
Oh, where are you?
I'm on the other side of Jackson, Lexington area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, what would you like to know tonight?
Well, I don't know what to ask. I guess I'll just select, I don't even know how to put it in words. It's like I'm in a place where I really don't know what's going on with me. I'm feeling peculiar, and I'm not liking my job, and I'm tired.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to tell me your first name and your age, if you don't mind.
Lenice, 52.
Okay, you know, I feel that it's kind of, you're stuck in a rut, and it's like you don't know where to move or what to do. You don't have any fun anymore. It's work home. Everything is the same. If you can kick off your shoes and go running down the beach, of course, you're going to feel really good. You do need a break.
Yeah.
And mainly you need a break from yourself. And the reason I'm saying this is because your mind runs constantly. And you worry about every little thing, and you just make yourself tired. And you've got to learn to put all that aside, and what happens is going to happen, and just start enjoying yourself. Do what you want to do. I feel that, you know, you really don't have a life as far as social life, that there's a lot more that you could be doing, but you feel you're too tired to do it. And the reason you're too tired to do it is because you're not doing it. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that's what I told myself. I realize that I only feel this way when it comes to going to work, but on the weekend it's totally different whenever I don't have to go to work.
Right.
But, you know, like, oh boy.
Yeah. It's just the whole home of being in a rut, you know. And in the weekend, you can do what you want. You know, you're not doing the 9 to 5, and you don't have any responsibility. And that's why I'm saying you need to take a break from yourself. The work, you know, the work is always going to be there. Do you do a government job?
No, I'm doing nursing.
Okay, it's not considered a government job?
Yeah, I guess you could. Yeah, it would fall under that category because most of the people are on government assistance.
Okay, because I hit government with that. Now, being in the rut also means burnt out. So you really need to take a vacation, and you need to take a vacation from yourself, which means kicking up your heels. You know, most people dream, women that I've talked to, sitting on the bus, sipping a margarita or whatever, you know, and just forgetting about life. And you're on the point of burnout with the rut. You've got to change. Something's got to change here. After work, you go out and do something, even if it's so much to go to McDonald's and eat a hamburger, or go sit by the river, you know, go do something besides going home, because that's what's making you tired. I mean, your job's making you tired, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying being the rut, doing the same thing over and over and over again. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yes. Yeah, I thought about that too. Do you see a relationship coming in?
Not anytime soon, because I don't feel like you're letting yourself. I don't feel like you're getting anywhere because you go from work home. You know, you need to start getting out there and doing things and meeting people. And I feel like once you do that, yes. But until then, I feel no. You got to break the habit of that rut.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I know nursing, you know, there's a big burnout with that and with teaching too. But with you, I think a lot of your burnout is just not doing anything during the week. Think about it. You go to work, you come home. You go to work, you come home. On the weekends, you can do whatever you want to do.
Mhm.
But that 9 to 5, and I know it's not 9 to 5, I'm just saying that job and then home, you don't have a life during the week. And that's what you've got to try to incorporate. You've got to try to take a breather, even on a lunch hour. Don't go into the, you know, staff room and eat. Go outside. Go outside, take a little walk.
Okay.
Just something to break the momentum of doing the exact same thing every day.
Okay. I'll do it.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, I hope that helps you, and you get more motivated very shortly here.
I will. Thank you very much.
And Lenise,
you're welcome.
Lenise, if you're on Facebook, go to Mary Barrett's Facebook page and let her know how things are going. I'm always curious to know that, and I understand how you feel because you get into that rut and it's hard to get out, and you just got to force yourself to just break out of it. So I want to know that you're kicking up your heels and painting the town red, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, make sure you do, because I was just going to tell you to do that, and Pam cut me off. But that's, we think alike anyway, so it either come out of her mouth or my mouth.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you, lady.
Okay, you take it easy.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I
couldn't help it because I understand how she feels. I mean, I have been in that rut for a long time. Of course, a lot of it has to do with my disability. But even just for me to get up and go to the store, I've got to talk myself into doing that. And it's not an easy thing to do.
No. And that's why I was telling her, you know, go out at your lunchtime. Just go outside and get some air.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, baby steps. And you can tell in her voice that it's just ho-hum, go to work, come home, do the same thing. But on the weekend, she's free because she doesn't have anything holding her back.
Yeah.
So she needs to do baby steps.
Yeah. Maybe grab a girlfriend or, you know, tell her girlfriend, hey, come and get me, make me go out, you know, that kind of thing, because I've done that. You know, sometimes you need help.
I was sitting here with my daughter today, and, well, my daughter has anxiety, and, you know, she has vertigo, and she's, like, kind of afraid to go out. And today I had to go to my allergist, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to go. She usually does go with me, but she was doing something else. She said, I'm going to go with you because I need to get out. And I said, good. So, yeah, she went with me. But, yeah, it's hard to get out when you're stuck. My aunt used to have a thing where she wouldn't even leave the house. And my mom said she used to get like that, too. And you have to pull yourself out of it because I did, too, for a long time. As long as I'm in the house, I've been in the house as long as 2 weeks. And then when I go out, you're so dizzy and so, like, feel like you're going to pass right out. It's always good to get out.
And then after you go out, you go home and you think, why am I staying in the house? It's so nice out. You know, why didn't I do this before? So you just got to do that initial thing of getting out there, and then you'll be okay.
That's true. That's exactly true. And there's a lot of things to do in Memphis. I mean, you know, go walking around Graceland, which I do a lot, or, you know, go to Beale Street or go to the mall, or like I said, just go to McDonald's and have a hamburger or french fries or whatever, you know, just to get out of the house.
Exactly. Exactly. And if Lenice is looking for a relationship, she's obviously not finding anybody at work, so she needs to get out, and then she'll find somebody.
Exactly. And that's why I said she's not letting herself, you know, have one.
Mhm. Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that I hear from that's in the same situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's understandable. So, Lenice, get out there, have some fun, meet yourself a nice guy, and live your life. You got a whole life ahead of you. 52 is young yet.
Oh, to be 52 again, not.
She's goofy. You usually hear people saying, I wish I was 21 again, not...
No. I would not want to be 21 again unless I knew what I was facing when I hit my age.
Right. Yep, exactly. So, okay, well, that's going to be a close to today's show. So go ahead and give out all your information that you want to tell people about. I know you mentioned your new website, and that's awesome. But go ahead and tell them everything else that you need to say.
Okay, I am going to be at Roads to the Paranormal on August 20th and 29th. And I'm going to be doing a gallery there, and I will be doing readings and whatnot. Then in September 11th, 12th, and 13th, I will be finally at Scarefest in Kentucky. Then there's more coming up, but I can't announce it right now. But I do sell.
You gave them the next month. That's.
I do sell essential oils. I also have the Etsy store called Spiritual Needs. And my website, mary-barrett.org, and I have 3 books out, which is Psychic Talk 2, and Soothing Messages from Heaven. And another one coming out when I get my lazy butt moving. But,
it's not like you're not busy, Mary.
And people, Payne is looking for sponsorship. So if there's anybody who wants to advertise on this network, Take 2 Radio, contact Pam, and she will get your commercials on the network.
Thank you, Mary. I'm up to over 1.9 million listeners worldwide. So, yeah, if you'd like to advertise, send me an email at take2radio@gmail.com, and that's with the number 2.
Yay! So I guess we'll see you in 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks, what is 2 weeks date?
Good question. Let me take a look real quick. While I'm looking, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, join me for, actually my next special host is Jim Mallard, and he does a paranormal show as well, and that's at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll find the link on take2radio.com. The next show for you is going to be August 28th.
We may have to talk about that. I'm going to be at the Roads of Paranormal.
Right.
So,
yeah, you were just saying. So, yeah, well, let me know offline. We'll talk about it. We'll figure something out.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Well, we'll talk to you later, Pam.
Thanks.
And thanks for
a great show, Mary.
You're welcome. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Get connected with Take Two Radio on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio. For email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit take2radio.com.